The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
I can talk now. How are you guys? Welcome into a Monday's edition. We are back live in our home studios for the Bostonian versus the Book. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault, back after a double dip at Circa on Thursday and Friday. Thank you to everybody who came out, was a part of the live shows, in the live chats. It's been a ton of fun. A ton of people saw those shows on Thursday and on Friday. Stadium swim hats?
Stadium swim hat. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that?
I kind of like that hat.
It ain't bad.
What's that logo on the right side of your body? What is on your right side of your head? What is that?
This one?
No, the other one. I know what that is. That's Circa. What's the other one?
Circa Resort and Casino. It's just two stripes.
Oh, okay.
It's just two stripes. Yeah.
Two gray stripes. Okay, sure.
Gray
so, yeah, that must be the logo for Stadium Swim. Live on YouTube, live on Twitter, replayed on Sports Grid with an announcement coming up here in just 1 second for a fourth platform that you will be able to listen to the Bostonian versus the Book nationwide, wherever you might be in this great country of ours, but you might need just a little subscription to something, but more on that here in just 1 second. How are you, sir, on this Monday?
Wait, we're gonna tell the people about this
Today. Out of the gates announcements today.
I love when you do that. I love when you hit the mark now. You do this 3-2-1 thing. It gets me even more excited because I know that it hits it perfect. And that's what you did last week. Eric, our Wheels of Steel producer, what 2 days of shows, guests. I think we went over the number of guests. We went over the number of chat. We went over everything. I mean, it was all over. Time in the book. Yeah. People, met, seen, hung out, signed up a few people, the Wong and the Wang and the Jeremy. That was outstanding. Two
Wongs, Wong Wang.
God, I can't believe that's one of the best names of all time for the contest.
Team name in the Westgate is Two Wongs and One Wang.
Two Wongs, One Wang. That's outstanding. I mean, shout out to him. It was a pleasure meeting him.
But by the way, that's not like a made up. It is two guys named Wong and one guy named Wang. So even though it's really funny, it actually is a real thing. It's great. It's not even like a joke. It's not like two girls, one cup. It's two Wongs and one Wang.
Whoa.
Just saying
that at all.
It's not made up. It's real. There's actually two Wongs and one Wang.
That. I never Googled that. They
do
told
not
me
Google.
Don't do it.
Do not.
I know. I listen. A lot of times when you tell me not to do something is when I want to do it. I'm like a little kid sometimes. In that regard.
That one is.
But I trust your judgment on that as well as the chat. And yeah, man, like we got a bye week and then the NFL starts. We had
bye week. What's a bye week? There's no bye week. This is football week.
There's no NFL football this week.
This is football week. What are you talking about? This is football week. Football week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
college
Monday.
Football.
What do you
college
want?
Football?
There's no damn difference anymore. It's just a different league.
Whoa.
There isn't any. You know this. What's the handle college football wise every year? It's growing every single year. NFL is still king, but college is right behind it.
I love the college football. I always have. And now, yeah, you see it. The handle's going up. It's great. It's going to be a big weekend. We got the Breadmen and Rainmaker Lou coming to town. We got those. We're going to meet them.
Yeah.
I was tired. It hit me yesterday. I was like exhausted. We were running so hard Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I just had to take a chill day yesterday, watch the baseball, and kind of, went bowling with the kids. That's a whole nother rigmarole.
Literally.
We're recovered because this week you're back to school, sir.
Oh my, today, day one. We'll get to that. My favorite thing about today. We'll start rolling later in the show. At the end of the show, I'll talk a little bit more about it. But yeah, today is my first day of school. So
the announcement will come here in a second, but I think we can tell the people that Mondays and Wednesdays, we will start the show at 10:30-ish pretty consistently because we got to get the show done. You got to get it posted. Then you got to get all prissied up to be Professor Perrault.
Yep.
For your class
and
the new kids you're going to meet. We'll hear all about that throughout the semester. I cannot wait for that. I am 100% coming to witness. I may come to class every week. I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
I may be a student sitting in the back and just observing. I want to see the show of you teaching and listening to these kids. And I will not interject unless asked, but I will just observe because I think it's I
use a lot of our stuff too. So you'll see so they'll know who you are as the semester goes on.
Well, that's good. That's good. So
interviews, I use different examples of stuff to show the kids as to like what am I talking about? What am I looking for? Here's what I'm looking for.
Do you have the syllabus already done?
Sent, done. Oh yeah. Whole semester. That's the fun thing about, you know how I am with planning. So I love the fact that I know exactly what I'm doing. Like on October 23rd, I know what I'm doing. Like I already have like the plan in place. It's set up. It's good to go. So yeah, syllabuses, although I do change them quite consistently based upon the class. Like I do not like to, like last semester's class was different because the kids were more raw. So I couldn't ask them to do some of the more advanced stuff that I would be looking for other kids. So it really depends upon the level of the class. If they're in and they're good, we can push. If they need more coddling and help, we do that. So it depends upon the class.
And you won't know that until you get in there.
I won't know that till October. Like I really won't know that until I have a couple of sessions of sit down, really listening to what they're doing. And then I'll know. But it takes me a couple of weeks to fully understand what am I working with? What are their skill sets? What do they need to work on? Who are the kids who are going to be really into this? Who are the kids who are going to suck? Who do I got to watch? Who do I got to push? Like I got to, get to know them a little bit as to what they're after. So it takes a little bit. And I hate Labor Day because it's Monday, Tuesday, and then Monday's off. It's like you get 2 days and then only Wednesday, you got to cram a whole week into Wednesday. And Wednesdays for me are in the podcast studio on campus. So not this Wednesday, but a week from next Wednesday is going to be really, it's kind of everything gets jammed together. So it's a condensed week.
I hate when things get jammed together.
Yeah. Not always. Sometimes it's good. Peanut butter and jelly getting jammed together is good, but other times things aren't great. So
I thought of something else there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
that was good.
Just be careful.
Big business came in.
Yeah.
Right now with the super chat, boys and girls, if you're here, we need participation is helping.
Yes,
Roll
please.
Call Friday was an enormous success.
It was.
He had a huge number of people watching his show from all over.
Yeah.
I think the total number of states was 38, I believe.
Dang.
We hit.
That's great. And that doesn't include Twitter, by the way. The Twitter audience was huge.
The Twitter audience was huge both days as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that retweeted the show there between Smalls and the Circus Sports link and all that stuff. Benson was great. Everybody was great. But Big Business came in and said, we're getting close to contest time, Circa Millions and Survivor. Can you all explain how the holidays, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas will work, please? Yes, Big Business. We'll get to that a little bit later.
Story time is in bonus time. So that's the super chat. You guys see, if you want us to discuss something that's not on the rundown, and that's not on the rundown, super chat it, put it in, and then we'll get to it during bonus time once we let go of the folks from Sports Grid. So that's one of the benefits. If you're watching on Sports Grid and you haven't watched it on our YouTube channel, go over to YouTube at Boston versus the Book on YouTube, and you can see us go through all of it. So thank you for that, sir. We'll go into it. All right, announcement time.
Wait,
the Bostonian.
It's not title shot, right? There's no title shots. The chat was very concerned about title shot possibilities for you after a few people appeared on the show on Friday. I said,
regardless of what
stop.
Yeah, one, you will never know. That is not for.
I don't know.
I talk about things that happen after the fact. You will never know things that are happening in real time. That part of my life is always closed off. Just FYI. Okay, that part of my life. Once it's done, then I'll come back and go, oh, you remember that? That happened. Otherwise, there is no conversations on that point. You will never hear me kiss and tell on those stuff. So just FYI.
No Rumble in the jungle. This is Rumble, young man Rumble. Nothing like that happening over there? Everything good?
Everything's great. Yeah. I mean, whether it is or is not, that will never be confirmed or deny. It is one of those things of like, I do not recall type of things. So on that,
I misremembered.
Just
Tell
so
the people the big
don't
number.
Get
Tell
myself
them.
in trouble because who knows who is watching when and why. And this is clippable stuff. So this is why people can clip it and post it and send it and I get in trouble. So FYI.
Get in trouble.
Announcement time.
Tell them.
If you are a SiriusXM subscriber and you are a night owl, this is now the opportunity for you guys to not just watch the show on Sports Grid, but now listen to the show on channel 159, which is Sports Grid's XM channel. You can now catch BVB starting on Tuesday night, September the 5th. That's after the Labor Day weekend, 10 p.m. Pacific time, 1 a.m. Eastern time for the Bostonian versus the Book on SiriusXM. So we're psyched about this. This is really cool to add another platform. So now, again, free-ish, okay, because you have to be a subscriber to Sirius. But it's a fourth platform that we are on that a lot of you have it. If you have a new car, you have a new subscription for free for a year, basically. Everyone gets that now from Sirius, at least 3 months. So if you have a car that has SiriusXM and you're in the car late night on the West Coast, or if you're driving cross country, if you're an East Coast person and you're up late at night in the car, BVB will be on channel 159, 1 a.m. Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific time, starting on Tuesday, September the 5th. Channel 159 for us on SiriusXM. So I'm really excited about this. This is going to be a lot of fun. I think a lot of people who may have not heard of the show or listened to the show, I think will just naturally bump into the show and find out about it. And I think it will be really fun. The one thing is this, and actually you and I didn't talk about this. I just realized. So what they're doing is they're going to run the TV feed on radio.
Yes.
Meaning it's going to be edited.
Of course.
Well, I was hoping that our swear it's XM. We can swear on XM.
Well,
so
we can swear here. And if you like the swearing or
yes.
just you like to have us without interruptions,
right?
Come
Straight.
Watch the show live
right.
every day, 10:30-ish a.m., 1:30-ish p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
And, join the show. But man, oh man, like this is big, big news. I mean, I just got a text from Big Man Mish, who appeared on the show with us on Thursday.
His story will still haunt me for a long
You haven't
time.
even seen the pictures.
I don't want to see
you
the picture.
haven't even seen the pictures.
I don't need to see the picture. The
you
visual
definitely don't need to see the pictures.
Just the big voice description was enough.
Yeah, well, it's so funny because I was out Saturday at that seminar down at the book at Circa and all that other stuff, and 3 people asked me specifically about that story about Mish.
How could you not?
The guy. And they're like, did you see the pictures? I said, yeah. He goes, oh, what did it look like? I said, I told you. The doc was good at his job. The doc was good at the job. It really is true. But
it's too good.
This thing on Sirius is exciting because, we've had a lot of people ask us about the show. And we tell them, just watch the show. Listen to the show. Participate in the Discord. What's the Discord channel again?
bvbshow.com.
And you will see what the show is about. We cannot tell you in a white sheet. We cannot send you a deck and you will totally understand. But what this gives us is another avenue for us to say, listen to the show.
Yeah, and I'm an audio guy, so this is big to me.
Oh.
I love this. I love being on every audio platform, and there isn't a radio station. Look, we've talked to radio stations. We've talked to people about putting the show, and it doesn't make sense for us. Really, the only place, I've said it to Dave off the air for a long time, the only place it would make sense for us to enable our content to clear is Sirius.
Yes.
Because, well, for starters, you have to edit the show, and Sports Grid is going to edit the show together for breaks. So someone has to do that, and you and I are not going to do that. So the way the show flows, taking the Sports Grid edit and putting that from TV on audio makes it's not more work. It's just another platform. So that's really cool, and it's awesome to have that. The other angle is that the content we talk about, we can talk about whatever we want, and we're never going to be told what to talk about by anybody. Sirius has to be, and Sirius is okay with that because there are some places in this country that may not like our content. They may not like what we talk about. So I never want to be dealing with anybody getting, those guys really shouldn't talk about that. I don't want to hear any of that ever from anyone. And if we do, it's like, well, then maybe we should just not do business together. So I'm really happy that we won't ever hear that from Sirius, which is exciting. So, look, the audio platform, nothing is changing. You listen on Spotify or on Apple Podcast, nothing's changing. If you're on YouTube or Twitter, nothing is changing. If you watch on Sports Grid on the replay, nothing is changing. We're just, although the hour is moving back one, we will run on Sports Grid. The other part of this is that Sports Grid will now run the show from 10 p.m., same as the XM replay. So if you watch us at 9 p.m., know that we're moving back 1 hour to 10 p.m. Pacific time, 1 a.m. Eastern for the BBB replay, just FYI. So if you're up from 12 to 2 and now you guys 1 to 3 now on the East Coast. So just a heads up on that. But very exciting news for us. We're psyched to start it next week. We'll welcome in the XM audience when we do it next Tuesday. Say welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the Brigade. Very easy to join. We'll probably have another announcement this week. Just heads up. Okay.
One thing at a time. Don't hit them all at once like this. We can't hit them with all the combinations because we don't know yet exactly what to say or how to say it, but hopefully we will be saying it later this week.
We're rounding into another announcement that will be involving the hats, which you guys keep on asking for. Okay, we hear you. Okay, we understand.
We hear you.
I mean, every time Dave on Twitter posts pictures of the BVB hats, I mean, it's 5-6 people, DMs. Where can I get the hat? How can I get the hat? What are you guys doing for merch? We're close. Okay. All I'm saying is we're close to getting.
We got all this other stuff going on. It's not like we're not trying, and we are going to deliver something, verification and stuff. Me and Perrault, again, we do the show here every day, 2 hours. Then we are dads. We are professors. We are, whatever else the hell Content I'm doing creators. Over here with people, with families, and taking a kid to the bus stop, all this other stuff. We're going to get the hats in your hands because you want them. The Sirius thing is awesome. I got a lifetime subscription when it first came out, $300. I said, I can get a lifetime subscription to this for $300. I'll never get a bill and I'll never have to hear about this again. Yes. Banged out 3 Benjamins, said, here you go. Don't bother me no more. So for now, I mean, I've had a SiriusXM radio for 20 years.
How does it work when you go car to car?
Once you go to a car, you can never go back. You cannot transfer it to a car.
Oh.
That car, it stays in that car. They don't tell you that. You have to ask questions.
I was going to say, how does that work?
Once you go to that car, it stays in that car. Then you lose the lifetime thing. The car gets the lifetime subscription. So I stayed on a mobile.
Well, that's a nice little hook by them, huh? That's a nice little fine print thing going, well, it's lifetime for the car. What do you mean? I'm going to have like 20 cars in my life. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. No, okay. When that car is gone, it's gone.
They didn't tell you that.
That's a nice little fine print from SiriusXM.
I stayed on the mobile. What I did was insert a thing to take the radio in and out of the car.
Yeah.
So
aux.
I had it on the radio. Yeah, aux. But now it's on the app. And again, you said you have to have a subscription. We hope it'll just expand the Brigade, expand the show for the people, because we try to do the show for the people every day. It's great.
Yeah. The more different audio platforms, video platforms we're on, the better. And look, we started this with a YouTube and audio, then we added Sports Grid TV. Now we're adding SiriusXM. So it's just more and more and more. The more we can add, the more places you guys can get the show, the more people we expose to the show, the better. I mean, when we started, we weren't able to do live shows. We just did 2 awesome live shows at Circa on Thursday and Friday. So we added that little wrinkle to the whole thing. The next will be when we take the show out of Vegas and do it out of Vegas. Okay, that's the next step.
We've done that at a couple Super Bowls. We did the show in LA.
We haven't done it at a random. We have, but that's when we've had like in a convention center. We've not taken the show on the road to the people where anybody can get access to the show. Like they're walking in to a bar, restaurant.
Can we do a show at a at a come and go in the Midwest? Can we do one now?
I don't want to do a show from a come and go. We can, but I do not want to do that. If we're going to the Midwest, we should just go to do a show in Omaha. It would be easier just to go there and do it there.
I cannot wait to go do a show in Iowa. I am going to tell the whole state that we're coming. We are going to have a
where though? It matters. It really matters.
I don't know.
Well, it matters because in Council Bluffs, it's Omaha. That's an Omaha suburb. In Des Moines, that's one thing. Ames is where Iowa State is. Iowa City is where Iowa is. So these are very far apart places. These are not close places. They're hours of driving apart. So
I want to go where the people are going to bring the pitchforks, and we're going to need to bring Mikey Awesome and Stevie Mack.
If you want that, we just go we'll go do the show live from the tailgate at Iowa State. If you want full blown chaos,
somebody make this happen, please.
If you want chaos, just set me up because they've got high speed internet. I know they do because they do shows from the parking lots. So you just get me power, high speed internet, and we'll go ahead and put BVB right in the middle and duck because there might be some stuff being thrown.
Oh no, that's okay. We'll go. We'll stand in front of you. We'll stand behind you. We'll stand. Beside you.
Remember, Iowa Nice is a thing. Okay, Iowa Nice is a real thing.
Whoa. Hold on. This is breaking news. What the hell is Iowa Nice?
You've never heard of Iowa Nice?
Oh, no. I put on the listening glasses specifically for you to tell me. What the hell is Iowa Nice?
Well, Iowa Nice is like when a Southerner says, bless your heart. You ever had a Southerner say that?
Is that like a FU?
Oh, it's fuck you. It's 100%.
Whoa, sorry, Will.
It's 100%. If somebody walks over to you, goes, honey, bless your heart. Like straight up, like that is so Iowa Nice is a very similar way. I mean, it's they're being nice to your face, and then they're going home and going on the internet and writing a manifesto about your life. And they're just that's why message boards in Iowa are perfect because no Iowan wants to be rude to your face. They'll just be rude when they're anonymous and they're faceless and they're on the internet. They'll be the rudest people on the planet, but not to your face. So that's why
this is outstanding.
It was perfect for me when I was there because no one in their right mind ever walked up to me and said anything to me about my radio show, about what I said on the air. Nobody. Iowans aren't like that. They're not confrontational.
Matthew, there was a petition for you.
Oh, yes. I know everything you're learning. I lived a decade ago. So this is nothing new to me. It's funny because I've told you all of this stuff and now you're learning it going like,
well,
he wasn't kidding. He was telling the truth.
I knew it and I believed it, but
but seeing somebody explain it to you, seeing Chris Williams and Chris Hassel explain it to you in those terms that they did you're like, wow,
that was different. Yes, but like I get it. I've always understood it. But we brought in Jessica, my wife, into the conversation over the weekend on Friday, and the rabbit hole that she went down. She was like, seriously, what are we doing? Are we good with this guy? Are we good? I mean, like, I love Perrault and I love the show. But that's all that matters.
And so you can't judge me based upon previous behavior.
Well, obviously, that's part of what we do here every day anyway. People come in. There's no judging. Guests come on. It's, what are we doing right now? Like, let's just keep it fair. Let's be honest. That's what we do. But, like, Perrault, she went down and, like, she was tired, and then she went down that rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden, she wasn't tired no more. She was like, wow, these people really – I said, yes, we're going right to the belly of the beast. We're taking the show at some point right on the road. You say right to Iowa State? That sounds perfect.
Yeah, if that's where you want. I mean, Iowa – the folks, there's only certain people who wear black and gold who really had a big problem. Most of them, they were Des Moines people who were big Iowa fans who had the biggest problem. Players' coaches or players' fathers had big problems with things I said, but Iowa State was just angry because I told Iowa State what they were, and they didn't like it.
They didn't like it.
Even Chris said it. Chris said Matt just said what it is. I mean, Matt just said what Iowa State
Chris
is.
Did say that.
And no one likes that. No one likes when somebody holds a mirror up and says, "This is what you are."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, we're not." It's like the classic little brother syndrome that's like overblown. It's what it is. It's everybody has it. Everyone wearing Cyclone gear. They all have it.
Oh boy.
So like their anger towards Iowa is, because Iowa fans look down on them.
Oh,
so if I say
whatever.
as an outsider come in and I'm like, well, I mean, they've got a point. And then I look at Iowa and I say, well, you like 8-4 Ferentz, so you think that's successful. So you guys are small in your own way. So like you can talk about all you want, but like this is like Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Like you're both just, you're both 4 feet tall in a basketball game. It's just you can't compete. So it's just the truth. So but no one likes to hear that. No one wants to be told the truth. That they're like, but there is no but. Okay, the highest paid state employee is a guy who wins 8 games a year. Do you understand this?
Helmets. We're going to need our own personal size helmets. This is a mini BBB.
You understand
helmet.
this? The highest state employee, the guy making the most money in the state of Iowa, wins 8 games a year and is celebrated for it.
Oh, God.
They think it's a great thing. They're like, oh, my gosh, this is incredible. So I say that, and Iowa State fans are like, yeah. And then I go and talk about them, and then Iowa State gets all mad. So Iowa State fans are fine as long as I'm attacking Iowa. But if I say the truth about Iowa State, then Iowa State fans get all angry. Iowa State fans spend more time thinking about Iowa than Iowa fans think about Iowa State. That's just the truth. Iowa fans are way more concerned about trying to not embarrass themselves.
Complete Convention Visitors Bureau authorities. Welcome to Iowa. Field of Dreams, good place to come see a game, wave to the kids at the hospital, come to the Cy-Hawk game, whatever the hell that is.
Oh, it's unbelievable. No. It's a big deal. Look, I've been to Alabama, Auburn. I've been to Virginia Tech. I've been to a lot of big rivalry football games in college football. Haven't been to Ohio State, Michigan yet. That's one I got to get to. But man, Cy-Hawk is a lot of fun. Okay. Cy-Hawk's awesome. There's no negative. There's no knocking that thing. That thing's awesome.
Where's that game this year?
Ames. We ain't going. We got other things going on. We're going to be a little busy on Saturday mornings.
Okay.
So
Speaking of which, we'll get to that. As far as the procedures and what we're going to do, we're going to send out an email to all the people that have signed up with BPS, Brigade Proxy Service.
But we'll explain the whole thing.
And we'll get to it. BVB bonus time is the time after the show. Again, when you guys can make a comment, you want to do it in the super chat. We appreciate it because one, it looks like it comes with money attached, which it does, but it also differentiates itself in the chat so we can see it, pay attention to it, and address it when we sign off of the grid and now SiriusXM Radio.
Correct. Yes.
Starting next week.
Sign off on both.
And I froze for a second. You froze me. Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't mean to.
But I'm back.
Circa has a book in Iowa. Yes, they do. That's true. It's in Des Moines. So D Weezy says Matt is 100% correct. D Weezy is an Iowan. So he knows.
He knows?
He knows.
All right.
He knows. All right. Navy got destroyed in Ireland by Notre Dame. Tip of the hat to you, sir, for that. I did not know what I wanted to bet on that game. Everything I wanted to bet on that game hit. First half over, hit. No, Irish in the first half, hit. Notre Dame minus 20.5, hit. And you were kind of nudging me saying like, hey, lay the game. It's good. They're going to run them off the field. And they did. They killed them. What do you make of the Irish?
That's what they were supposed to do. Nothing changed for me. They still have those 3 big games. Everybody looked a lot more comfortable, and
their offensive
quarterback looks like a quarterback,
right?
Like he looks like the quarterback. So
he's been in college for almost a decade.
Got a nice beard. I mean, a guy looks.
He's a 6-year guy. I mean, he's an adult.
Is he 26?
Like he's an adult. He's a legitimate adult.
He is a grown up, and he played like it, looked like it. Somehow the game stayed under, which a lot of people had. We had the weather, we had the field. Still something about those Notre Dame uniforms that I like. I totally get it. If you're on board with Notre Dame, you are very, very excited today. Were you impressed?
I was really impressed with the offensive line. I was really impressed. I know what Sam Hartman is. I watched him at Wake Forest for years. I know what he can do. He was one of the most decorated quarterbacks in the history of the conference. He coming in with the receivers he's going to work with. I knew and I know he's going to be in the Heisman Trophy conversation. He may not get invited to New York, but he's going to be in the conversation. The biggest thing was Notre Dame has an absolute steamroller of an offensive line, and they may have 4 running backs to run behind it.
Right.
So that to me is the biggest takeaway, because the differentiator for me is in most games in football, but in Big Ten play against Ohio State, you're going to have to run the ball. And if you can run the ball on the Buckeyes, if you can run the ball on anybody in the country, you can beat anybody in the country.
Yep.
So that was my okay. Yeah, the Irish are probably a top 10 team. They're going to be good. They're going to be tough to beat. Did
you have any feelings of because we talked briefly on Saturday, you build up all this hype for football. It comes back, the morning happens, you're leading up to it. And then you get a game that's decided at halftime. There was absolutely no mystery, no drama. The only thing left was if Navy was actually going to get points on the board. Mm-hmm. They are never going to come back from being down 3 scores ever in any game that they play, because they just don't do. They run a 1940 offense.
I mean, when the kid dropped that 4th down and the 2 kids ran into each other on that 4th down throw,
yes,
that was the game. If they had caught that ball and kept that drive alive, might have been a game. Might have been. I still think the Irish win. They may not cover, but they win. That was the beginning of the avalanche when they dropped that ball. Things went south in a hurry.
Well, everything went south. I was just I was all into the baseball. I was watching the Little League World Series right away after that and all that other stuff. But then the afternoon happened here. And this school that can't score points.
Let's go. Let's go.
Damn it.
Tom Brown. Let's go. How about that? 41 points. UMass averaged 12.5 points a game last year. They put up 40 on the road as dogs. I was in love. I was jumping up and down, texting all my buddies from college going, holy shit, we got a team. This is amazing. What is this? I mean, UMass's win total was 1.5.
Yep.
1.5. They already got 1.
Would this be the worst beat ever if they don't win another game?
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine? Could you imagine though? They lose out. Oh, that would be horrible. That would be absolutely horrible. Let's see. Is that even I don't think that's possible. Hold on.
Why not?
That's not possible. Because they play. Oh, no. Yeah. No. They're playing Arkansas State. They'll beat
Arkansas State must have a really good offense. What are you talking about?
Do you understand that if my team is good, my team plays your team? You know this, right?
Yeah,
My team plays your team. My team
is going to kick your team's ass.
Maybe, but maybe not. We'll see. We will see after this weekend. We will see what they do. Because if they are even within 10 points of Auburn at the end of the game on Saturday, everyone's in play, including your team. Everyone's live. They've got the entire Arizona defense is on UMass's team. This is crazy. 8 kids from the Arizona defense transferred to UMass. This is a totally different. And by the way,
what kind of package did they get?
I've probably not a lot, but they got playing time because they want to get the hell out of that conference and hell out of that program. They like Don Brown that much. They love this dude. So, I mean, he's been in the NFL. He's been in high-level programs, been at Michigan. He was a D coordinator at Michigan. This guy knows how to coach defense. And, man, they bottled up New Mexico State. And I get it. It's New Mexico State. But for a team that couldn't beat anyone the last 5 years, to actually win a game on the road like that was awesome to watch. I was in love with it, jumping up and down going, we're going to Auburn. We're going to the Plains for a team that was 5-7 last year, and Hugh Freeze might be still looking at things on the internet. We got a shot. Let's go.
I can't believe this. The show has taken so many iterations, morphed into so many different things. Yep. This is called right above me here, Boston versus the book. And we've never really had.
But yes, everyone says
Bostonian.
Boston. Yes, because there's a difference. It's not you versus the city of Boston. That's the difference.
It's at Boston
correct
versus the book on social media and on the YouTube channel. Again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But we've never been like versus, like our teams against each other.
Two
like
games this year.
Really means something.
We got 2 of them this year.
We got on the gridiron this year. I thought Patriots Steelers was the A side. But after Saturday.
It is.
Oh, but after Saturday, I said he's going to be really fired.
As long as UMass doesn't lose by 50 to Penn State, it's a win to me.
Oh, no.
It's a win. It's a win. But if they lose by less than 2 scores to Auburn, which I'm not telling you right now, Stormy and company, she's the sideline reporter. I was going back and forth with her on Twitter, on DM, and going back and forth. Yeah, watch. If that game is even remotely close, there's something to talk about because UMass has winnable football games coming up. They have a home game against Miami of Ohio. They're taking on Eastern Michigan. They play New Mexico at home, Arkansas State at home, Toledo at home. They play Army on the road. They play Merrimack, which is hysterical. I'm from Andover. Merrimack's in North Andover.
Right.
Town over. My brother pitched for Merrimack.
Right.
Merrimack now is an FBS school somehow, some way. I have no idea why.
UMass going in this thing now. They're trying to let everybody.
UMass going FBS was stupid. Merrimack going FBS is the dumbest thing ever invented. Like that school, it's a school of like 3,000 kids that nobody wants to go to. The campus looks. I mean, my daughter's elementary and high school campus is like the same size as Merrimack. It's tiny.
Oh boy,
they're great at hockey. Hockey East, they've been elite for years and years. I grew up going. I was there when they won the Division II ECAHL championship, East Coast Hockey League championship, D2. I was there. They won the national championship. I was there with my dad as like a 10-year-old. First time I ever saw a championship being, guys holding up trophies and whatnot. It was awesome. So I've seen Merrimack go up to Hockey East and be incredibly competitive. But their rink,
get back on point here.
I guarantee your rink. I guarantee the rink you played in high school is bigger than the rink that they play Merrimack hockey.
Made it so hard to play in as the visitors. Like they play in a little bandbox. Those are
tiny.
Good.
I mean, you stand the whole game.
Going to Penn State, right?
Yes, they are. Yes,
it's going to be a big number.
It's got to be home. It's going to be homecoming for you guys, right? October 14th.
Why would we waste homecoming against UMass?
Because you always have a guaranteed win on homecoming.
This is true.
You always have a guaranteed W.
I don't know. I drove in the homecoming parade a couple of times. That was really cool because I had a convertible, Toyota Celica GT convertible.
You liked convertibles. So you did a cabriolet and a Toyota convertible.
Oh, I was a convertible guy. Yeah, it's probably blew all my hair off because I used to drive around like that. You can wear a hat then, so you let the hair flow. But yes, we have Patriots Steelers, which again is in Pittsburgh.
Yes,
in December, which the personal goal is to be there for
Thursday night.
Thursday night. We're hopefully going to get that lined up where we get a studio, we do a show, we have the people, we're with the people, we go to the game, and we get back to Vegas because I don't want to be in that cold too long. Mm-hmm. But October, now it might be the homecoming game.
We can't go to that game. You know we can't.
I don't want to go because it'll be over by halftime.
Correct.
We're going to unload everything on the Nittany.
But it's not about, to me, again, it's not about, I'm just looking at it. How are we going to be competitive? That's all I'm trying to be.
Yeah, you got to hope we're going to cover. There's going to be something on the line because now I remember going to UMass Penn State basketball games when it was an A-10 matchup. That's how old I am.
Penn State was in the A-10?
Absolutely.
Really? I never knew that. When?
Oh, Penn State was in the A-10 in basketball. Yes, we played UMass. We played Temple. We played Rutgers. Oh, big time stuff.
Didn't know that. Didn't know there was an Atlantic 10. Oh.
Yes. So,
but why weren't you playing in the same conference as your football program?
There was no A-10 football.
I know, but Penn State football.
Penn State was an independent.
Oh, that's before you joined the Big Ten. You were independent. Okay, that's why.
I got to school in 1988, the fall of 1988. We went to the basketball games, and I saw Mark Macon, and I saw who was UMass's guard. He was the coolest guy ever.
Patino?
No, the guard. He had an Italian
UMass guard.
Padilla? Was it Padilla?
No, Edgar Padilla. You're confusing decades, dude. Edgar Padilla was my year. He was in 1996. You're getting confused.
All right, there was a kid.
That's UMass's starting backcourt that went to the Final Four. Dante Dingle, Edgar Padilla, Carmelo Travieso, Lou Rowe, Marcus Camby.
They had all those names that ended in a vowel.
That's the Final Four team in 96. Yes.
I'm not going to lie. I was rooting for that team a lot.
Of course. We got killed by Kentucky. It was horrible. But
it was bad. But
I
it was a
watched
good
Tim
run
Dun-
up to that.
I watched Marcus Camby own Tim Duncan with front row seats when I was in college.
Just look down at the chat. Chris Otto, our friend
Hi.
in Pittsburgh, is going to be at the Penn State UMass game.
Beautiful. Live updates. We're going to need some call-ins.
He said we might have to set up a Twitter Spaces. Travieso and
Hell yeah.
Padilla. Yeah, that's who those guys were.
Yeah, that's a backcourt.
Can we get Storm? We might have to get Stormy on this week.
Let's do it.
Join us, and we can talk about her going there and what it's
the Plains.
like. And,
Her first trip to Auburn. She's never been. So I was trying to give her some pointers.
That's what she said. I saw her on.
Just go get an ice cream. Just go to Toomer's Corner and get an ice cream.
That's the ice cream place there?
Oh, Toomer's Corner is like walking back in time. It's insanity.
Is it?
Yeah. And then after the game, they toilet paper the tree. Remember the guy, the Alabama fan who
They
poisoned?
still do that?
Oh, yeah. Huge. Remember the guy who poisoned the tree? The Alabama fan
Yeah.
who got arrested for poisoning the tree?
Allegedly.
No, he admitted to it. He called Paul Feinbaum and admitted to it. He said, I just poisoned the tree. Toomer's Corner. I just poisoned the tree. So, yeah. I mean, it was no allegedly. He did it. He got arrested for it.
He called in and
Yeah.
told him?
He told on himself. He thought it was being look at me, roll tide, blah, blah, blah. But Auburn's a cool place. The War Eagle, you get chills when you see the eagle circling around.
So are they going to get thumped, or you just taking them? You think they can cover?
I already bet it.
You took the points?
Hell yeah. Took it
Oh,
too
this
late.
is what
I'm pissed
happens.
off.
This is what happens now.
It was 30. I was 38 and a
Bettors
half.
do this. Oh boy.
It
Here
dropped
we go.
2 points. It dropped 2 points in an hour. I was so pissed off myself. I wanted 38 and a half. Now Chrissy still got it at 38. So I went and got that. So I have 36 and a half and I have 38 and a half.
Jeez, what are you doing?
I have them both.
Did you drive to South Point? Oh, you went to the Rampart. Good idea.
And got a hold of it. So
Rampart.
he's got 38. So we jump in on plus 38, but it was 38 and a half. And then the East Coast steam came flying and went down to 36 and a half. And I was like, oh, okay, take this now.
So that's good. So you got a dog to cover against a big school. How about this next line here about a dog covering against a big school?
Yeah. So what are your thoughts? Because this weekend we are full of 25, 35 point lines.
Oh,
so USC wins, but San Jose State was able to cover because they scored enough points, some of them in garbage time. What's your theory? What's your philosophy? Do you say stay away, or do you just say bet it because you can't take a dog in these situations?
I think everything is different. This is what we've talked about right here on this show over the years. This is what I've talked about for decades in the space, and everyone new to it tries to pigeonhole things and apply, universals to very not universal things. USC winning but not covering against San Jose State unearthed the same thing that we've known basically what seems like for years. They can score a lot. Their defense is caca. It's not good at all. So they're going to have to, put up 50 burger every game and win. This week ahead, I mean, did you see the games on Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Central Florida's 37 against Kent State. You don't have to bet it. You know what I'm saying? NC State is 14 and a half on the road at UConn, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch Smalls and Perrault discuss UConn. I mean, that was
Connecticut, not UConn, but Connecticut, the state of.
The whole thing. They besmirched everything about it. I mean, they cut it in half.
She agreed.
New York, you're this, you're that. It was outstanding. You don't have to bet that either.
Right.
I would caution laying the big numbers, but I would also caution taking the big numbers. Look at everything individually and know it's a different sweat. Like taking UMass, plus 7.5 was what the line was, right?
It was 8. It was 8. It closed at 7.
Okay, so taking 8 points, you're taking that because you think the dog can win.
Mm-hmm.
If you take 17 or more, most likely you ain't winning.
No. Hawaii.
So now it's a different
Hawaii Vanderbilt is the example there.
Right.
I took 17 and a half. I didn't need them to win. They lost by 7.
Okay. So you have to know that that there's no visions of grandeur. There's no like, we could go in there and upset them. Different sweat.
everybody was wondering going into the week. In fact, some of our friends in the content space bet it all blindly. Steve Fizzik bet every game under blindly.
Yes.
4-3.
Okay.
Fairly profitable, but profitable to do
Right.
it over the 7 games that were played in week 0. The games are definitely faster, Dave. There's no debating. If you are a running offense, the games are faster. Now, that doesn't mean the game slowed down scoring, pick sixes, kick returns for touchdowns. If you score a touchdown on a one play, on a big play, I don't care what the clock rule is, it's still going to be scoring quickly.
Right.
But I will say, if you are a running team, if you are an academy, like the Army-Navy game, I don't care what the number is, bet under right now. Just bet under.
Games in December. What the
Just
hell
bet
are
under.
you talking
It's
about?
not-
We got games this week.
I know, just bet under. It's guaranteed. I don't care if it's 29. When you have 2 run-based teams, the games are going to be blink fast.
What in the hell are you talking about?
I'm just telling you. I watched a million games this weekend.
There was only 7, so you're exaggerating again.
Okay, I watched almost all of them. Okay.
Yeah.
They all are lightning fast when you run the football. It's like a running clock in a scrimmage. It goes quick.
It was a good point of discussion at this betting seminar that I went to on Saturday. People are concerned about this. They want to know how the books are adjusting. They want to know how the bettors should be
Over-adjusted some
adjusted.
of the season win numbers in my mind.
Season win numbers?
Sorry, season stat numbers wise.
Yeah.
Like Drake May going from 4,300 yards to 3,100 yards is ridiculous. Like that's ridiculous.
Well, no one knows how to move those numbers. That's the other.
Okay,
dirty
what
little
1,200 yard difference for a guy who's going to
Oh,
have?
I mean, if you
their
move it
defense-
100 yards and they bet it again, and you move it 100 yards and they bet it again, and you move it 200 yards and they bet it again, somebody in the room goes, "Your number, not good. Let's move it more and get it to a point where I'll stop betting it."
Yeah, I was in love. Like 3,100 yards for to go take Drake May over that yardage at DraftKings. I was like, thank you. It's like, that is, his defense is horrible. They're going to, like USC, they're going to have games where they're going to score 50, 60 points easy.
Yeah.
North Carolina's going to put up so many points in yards. I was like, okay, because they're going to be behind against anybody good. They're going to be way behind.
Jimmy Jack said, "Did anyone really watch USC? I mean, who actually has the Pac-12 network? LOL."
We do. Well, I do. I have YouTube TV, so I got,
Same.
yeah.
It's
So
available also on the Samsung Plus,
yeah,
which you can get. So
that's a free channel. Then it's on Samsung Plus free. How about that?
How
Wow.
about that? Yeah, so it's available. What was the feedback you got? Like Chef Benny just came in the chat. So the game's faster, but they make up for it with ads. The runtime difference was only 3 minutes because of all the commercials they added.
Well, I don't care about the runtime of the game. I'm talking about the play itself. Are we going to have fewer plays? Are we going to have,
I think
shorter?
that's yet to be determined, right?
Yes, I agree. It feels as which, but only 4. I mean, there were games I would say on Saturday afternoon at about 2:00, people started tweeting, "Oh my gosh, every game's going to go under." Because Notre Dame, they scored 45 points, but the game goes under, or whatever they scored, 42, whatever it was. The game went under 49. And
42-3.
thank you, 45 points total. So 40 went under 49, and everybody was looking around going, "Oh my gosh, these are really low scoring games." But then UMass started to score in the second half, and then Mexico State started scoring in the second half. Vanderbilt and Hawaii got off to a very fast start. USC got off to a very fast start. So you saw teams that were putting points on the board that were blowing through, regardless if you're having a first down timeout or not. They were scoring at will and putting up big numbers. Now, other games, the Jacksonville State game went under, and that game was slow. I watched a bit of that game, and so I don't think we know yet. I think the jury is still out.
I agree. I think
So.
you'll see adjustments come. I was talking to Maddie last night.
Yeah.
About, and this came up in the discussion, and he's
Which
like,
Maddie?
"Hey,
Lindemann? Okay, yeah.
Lindemann, head guy,
WinBet.
maker, trader, whatever you want to call, vice president of trading at WinBet."
Yeah.
And I said, what do you think? And he's like, you say it every day. Nobody knows shit. He said that applies. Sorry, Will. Nobody knows shit. Now you heard it twice. So it will be adjusted going forward. Let's go from there.
Interesting. That was quiet. The Tony Watch one's quiet. It's not loud.
The best is when
The other one's loud. That was
you go interesting, meaning that's like the Southern bless your heart. Like
no,
shut
it
the
is,
fuck
it,
up.
no,
That's what that is. When you go interesting.
It's called a transition into a different topic. We're going from football into baseball. Time for Ohtani watching. It's getting dicey with this UCL injury with Ohtani. They are claiming, the Angels are claiming that on August the 3rd, when Ohtani came out of the game with a hand cramp, that they asked him, do you want an MRI on your elbow? And he said no. He then went out and pitched another game in which he snapped the damn thing. What do we do with this story? Because is this the Angels protecting themselves? Is this showing a crack in the relationship? Or is this just being honest? Like, hey, we tried to get it looked at because we thought something was wrong. Remember, a hand cramp for a pitcher is weird. He was having pain.
Weird, period.
He was having pain in his fingers because that's how it's, not to go doctor on you, but
please do, Dr. Perrault.
But that's the elbow tendons connecting to, that's why, as Dave's doing it, that's why when you throw curveballs, right? This wrist motion hurts the elbow. It's all connected. So you snap it off. That's what hurts the elbow. So
doing that now.
Okay. So
over the top.
You can feel it when you do that. So when you're throwing curveballs and splitters and you're throwing different, arm actions, you're putting a lot of stress on that ligament. Team was like, hey, let's get this looked at. Maybe it's something more serious. And Ohtani said, no. I don't want you to look at it.
Sorry. Continue, Doctor. I just looked down at the chat and Bear Mullings just typed in all caps. I just crashed into a light pole because that stinger scared me while he's driving. Sorry, Bear. Text me. I'll come pick you up after the show. No, this is something.
This is bad, though. This is not
good.
Does he have surgery or does he just become a hitter? And that's it. He just plays without it. Can't play in the field. Can't play. You play first base. You can't play the outfield. You can't throw the ball.
You don't put him in the field. I don't put him in the field at all.
It's like a running back running without an ACL. You can do it, but the second you make a cut, your knee's going to blow up.
Yeah. Man, oh man. It's the amount. We talked about it on Friday on the show. We're talking about it again today. What happens now? He loses a lot of money because now there's a serious question as to how bad is it? Why didn't you want to get it looked at? We need to get this thing looked at. We need to shut you down. We need to, like the $6 million man, rebuild him if we need to rebuild him. The second time for this thing is not a good result going forward in history. Now, a couple guys have done it and have been successful, but man, oh man, once I got the correct links to the show today, I read this story and I was like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't know. You want to blame somebody, don't you? You want to blame somebody?
It's not that I want to blame anybody. I'm just saying that when you hear from the general manager, and I believe it's Perry Minasan, I think it's how you say his name.
Minasan.
But I'm probably killing his last name. But he said the only time we had imaging was after he felt the injury. The imaging was offered earlier in the year, and him and his representation turned it down. And then went on to say, well, why? Because I understand why. It was a cramp in his finger, and they didn't think it was warranted to have imaging. I mean,
really?
Right.
If it was a cramp in your finger and you didn't think it was warranted to have imaging, maybe someone could misconstrue that as going, it was a little more than cramping in your finger, no?
Yeah, it wasn't a hand cramp. I remember when somebody said in the Discord channel, Ohtani left the game with a hand cramp. And I went, excuse me?
Did you ever have a hand cramp? Like, do you get a hand? Like, I fall asleep sometimes on my hand and I wake up and I can't feel my hand. I get a hand cramp. Is that a hand cramp? What is a hand
No,
cramp?
if you're an athlete, a hand cramp would be like getting a foot cramp. It shows dehydration in the body. But
I
it's
drink a
very
lot of water. I
strange.
try not to get hand cramps.
It's very strange for an athlete on the level of Ohtani at his age at 29 to be suffering dehydration. That's not normal. That's an abnormality that alarm bells should have been going off around everyone, and they weren't. He left the game with back cramps a couple of weeks earlier.
Right.
People said, "Oh, this is just a thing he's dealing with. Maybe he's just worn out." They thought he was tired. His body's breaking down. He needs more rest. He needs more liquids, whatever it might be. But nobody thought to get the arm checked out, going like, "Hey, this is a $600 million player. This is like driving a Bugatti. Like if you hear a tink, a click, something,
Stop everything.
Stop everything and take it directly into the shop to get looked at, going, hold on, that didn't sound right. Make sure it's okay."
Now. I do that now, and I don't even drive that nice of a car. Like I do that now, even with the kids. Like I hear a sniffle, I'm like, "What's wrong? Stop! We're going to the doctor." Like, I'm that now. I'm like, "What's going on?" I got to tell you, over here in the ocean of estrogen, I don't underestimate cramps at all. You understand?
Yeah.
When they tell you got cramps,
yeah,
you just leave them alone. Like there's nothing you can do. But in this situation, you're right. I think it would have been a warning sign, a bell. Like
something. Just go, hey, what's going on? Like this is important.
Right. Bananas and pickle juice, JC from KC.
Yes, you would think, right? Yes.
Right.
That would be the most logical point of doing it.
Yes.
But that wasn't it. That wasn't it at all. So, I mean,
Bonvi said that Felix Bautista's out with the same injury, UCL. Did you hear that? That's Baltimore's closer.
Yeah, I did hear that. Yes, I did hear that. Yeah,
I saw him leave the game, and he knew immediately. You could see he was like, "Oh no!" And they walked him down the steps of the dugout and underneath, and it was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
Is this the beginning of that?
I don't know if it's the beginning of the end on that level, but it's definitely something to pay attention to in terms of the Orioles. I mean, that's a guy who was throwing 101 miles per hour, and it's definitely a big loss for them to lose their closer this late into the season. But I mean, their whole bullpen was going to be stressed in the postseason, including him. So not that shocking.
Interesting.
The A's have 3 options for playing baseball after 2024. Here are your 3 options, and you tell me which one you would pick.
Vegas
is one.
Where, at the ballpark? At the
Playing here at the ballpark is one.
They'll draw more people over the course of the year than they would if they stay in Oakland. But
100%. Number 2, San Francisco at Oracle Park.
So it'll be a game there every night when the Giants aren't playing. The A's will be playing?
Correct.
Okay. What's option number 3? Because both of those options are better than what? Staying
in Oakland and trying to play, extending the lease to play in Oakland.
Wait a second. The building they're playing in now, and they've told everybody that it's unfit to play in, and they are leaving the city because
the city can kick their ass out the second the lease is up.
So it's not really an option, right? Like,
they're in trouble.
Why would they write this like that? This
baseball needs to intervene here because they got to figure something out, and they got to figure it out in a hurry because they got 1 year left, and either baseball is going to write the city of Oakland a check that they'll say yes, that they can keep on playing, but there are people in Oakland who literally want to press the button to demo that thing the second the A's are gone, because that real estate is still very valuable, and they can do a lot of things with that real estate.
Have they announced what they're going to do with it once there's no ballpark there?
No, but there's all sorts of people angling.
What do you think? They're probably going to put in
malls, high-rise communities, all sorts of stuff. I mean, it's a very
overrated in my opinion. I've always wanted to live in one. I grew up watching different shows, and I always thought that would be so cool to walk in and like have a doorman and then go up an elevator and you get out and it's
pretty
your
cool
place.
I like it. It's pretty cool.
I was headed that way. That's where I was going to end up.
Yeah.
And life always forward, never straight kind of veered me off of that path. But sometimes I drive by the places between yours and my houses, and I think,
oh, not here.
No,
No, not here. No. I would never live in a high rise here. Pointless.
no.
I mean a high rise like in New York City or Philadelphia or even Boston. But Boston doesn't really have many doormen. It's definitely a southern, like a mid-Atlantic type of thing. It's a New York, Philly thing more than Boston.
I don't know. I worked for a couple guys, or didn't work for, but did some things for some guys that had a couple places in Pittsburgh that were beautiful like that. They were like, man.
Yeah, I mean, living in a city it's the one thing that I haven't done that I often wonder where my life would have gone if I had gone to college in a city and wound up living in a high rise downtown. Because I'm a city person. I'm just,
yeah, me too.
It's who I am. It's what I'm about. Never should have. I have my career because of UMass, but I never should have gone there. It was a awful fit for me, who I was, for the life that they want you to lead. I'm not a farm guy in terms of like, I'm not like that.
UMass is on a farm?
Oh yeah. Just like Penn State. It's basically a land grant school.
Oh, yeah.
Just nothing but, it takes 2 hours to drive there. You drive through an hour and a half of nothing to get to UMass. It's in the middle of the Berkshire Mountains.
Sounds just like,
yeah, it's just like Penn State. It's absolutely just like Penn State. Same. It's a state school that it's, you go away to college, like going to summer camp, but like that wasn't my bag. Like I could have gone to school in Boston, but I chose not to because I knew I wasn't going to get on the radio when I was I was recruited to play soccer at Emerson. And I walked in on my recruiting visit and I asked the kid who was behind the mic, how long did it take you to get on the air? And he said, my senior year. And I went, I went to UMass and I asked the kid behind the mic on my visit, how long did it take you to get on the air? And he goes, whenever I wanted to, my freshman year. And I went, I'm going here. I knew I had to get on the air as fast as possible to work because I didn't have a radio voice. I didn't have a broadcasting voice. I had to get on the mic and work. And I knew if I'd sat for 3 years hoping for the chance to be on WERS in Boston, my career would have been nothing.
Right.
And that was when I wanted to do a radio DJ. I wanted to be music. I didn't want to do sports.
Right.
So I flipped after my freshman year internship. Between my freshman and sophomore year, I flipped and it was like, okay, now I'm all in on nothing but sports. So that's what changed everything. But and there was no sports team to cover. I covered UMass in 1998. The last time the UMass football program was anything. I was the sports director of WMUA when UMass won the FCS national championship. D1AA, I guess you call it now.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Who knows where my career would have gone if I'd done that. But I sacrificed my life, which is kind of the story of my life, sacrificed my personal life for my professional life.
Well, I mean, you've been all over some small towns working, and I'm a city guy too. Always have been. I love the city. I love the vibe of just, I used to
energy.
After school, I went and worked downtown in Pittsburgh and grew up downtown, going to games and all that other stuff. But it was a little bit of a different speed, different thing when I went to Penn State. But
I wasn't a hippie. Like I wasn't like I smoked pot and like I did drugs and I went to a hippie type of town, but my town was like the rich kid version of hippie. Like UMass is like the real thing. Like we don't shower and like we just, we hang out listening to the Grateful Dead constantly. We play bongo drums in the middle of drum circles. Like that just wasn't like, I had a hard time adjusting to that. I had a hard time relating to that because that wasn't who I was. Like I was an athlete and I was a guy who, I like to argue and I like to talk about sports and I like to watch sports. And, I didn't fit in the big, there's pockets of UMass like that, but not nearly as many as other stuff going on at UMass.
I went up as a finance major, so my whole life took a turn after that internship at KDK, and I went back and said, all right, I'm going to do this. And I always thought I was going to be a radio DJ too at the rap and hip hop urban music station. I want to be that guy. I mean, I listen to DJ Thump every morning. I can't wait to meet him and I'm going to ask him, listen, 2 days a week, I'm going to come watch you work in the morning shift. Can I come? He's going to say yes. After the initial thing, he's going to be like, wait, who are you?
Right.
And then we're going to talk and I'm going to get to know him and I'm going to get to watch him and dance and play along and all that other stuff. Let's go back to Oakland. What the fuck are they going to do?
They're in trouble.
Like, seriously. What are they going to do?
I think they're coming here.
If they're serious about coming here, they should do everything in their power to play in that ballpark. I don't want to hear about small thing.
Nope, it's not that. I don't think it's going to be that. It's going to be the NFL, the MLBPA to convince them to play. Like the New York Yankees are going to play in Summerlin. Are you kidding me? Think about that for a second. Like, it just doesn't equate. I don't care what renovations they make. I don't care what they do to the ballpark to make it bigger, because they can do all those things. Like, they can add 10,000 seats in a year. They can do that in an off season. They can add.
Yankees are too good to play in Summerlin. What is your point?
It's 110 degrees outside some nights.
It's going to be hot.
It's going to be really, really hot.
Yeah, guess what? It's going to be hot.
The Yankees are not going to sign up for that. The Yankees
are the Red Sox?
Probably not. No. Like, I think that the PA is going to be the biggest proponent of this. They're going to say, look at, and then what's going to happen is that the minor league kids are going to go, oh, so we can suffer. We do it all the time, but you guys are too good to do it. We do it. We survive. No one dies. It sucks, but we do it. You can do it. Well, suck it up.
That's what I mean. Like, they've all done it already.
Right.
A lot of them have played in very hot places on the way. We start the games later. We'll play the games at 8:00. So what? It ain't the heat. It's the amenities. It's everything else. It's not.
You can change all that very quickly. The Titans played at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis.
Exactly.
You can make it. You can make the amenities work for a temporary stay of 2 or 3 years.
The Juice just came in and said at least it'll be sold out every game.
Correct.
Damn right, it'll be sold out every game. There'll be a waiting list.
Oh yeah,
they'll sell out the whole thing.
I mean,
immediately.
It'll be the highest ticket price in baseball. It'll be like what the Coyotes are doing in Arizona. I mean, they're playing in front of a 10,000. They're playing in a 10,000 seat hockey arena. That's a college arena. 5,000. Thank you, a 5,000 seat.
They're not even throwing it out every game. That's the crazy part, because they're not good.
Right.
And there's a lot of people in Phoenix that are doing other things. I just wanted to say hello to Lord of Wasabi. He likes this hat. That's red, white, and blue. This is the Dodger model that applies to other stuff. Gorov 1-star helped me design it. But I don't know, man. I think that's the best option. Do you think playing in San Francisco is a real option?
I think they're going to try. Yeah, but I think it's going to be very complicated to make it work. It's a scheduling nightmare.
You think people like a baseball fan like Tyke will go on, like A's fans will go to see baseball, but I don't think they're going to get the average person to be like, oh, now we can stay here and see American League teams. I mean, I
think people would go to the ball. The ballpark's nice. It's nice. I think they could get 5,000 to 10,000 a night. They draw more than they would draw in Oakland if they played in San Francisco.
Jimmy Jack with 4K said he went to a Blue Jays games in Buffalo during COVID. What was wrong with that?
Right.
He played in Buffalo in minor league stadium, but it was Buffalo, so it wasn't hot.
Yeah, it was fine.
But it rained a lot. It was nasty.
Yeah, but again, that's going to be. I don't think the amenities are the problem. I don't think parking is going to be a problem. I don't think it's in a Major League Baseball stadium. Is that all those things can be adjusted and fixed? It's the heat.
The totals are going to be in the 20s.
It's the heat. And the fact that
totals are going to be in the 20s.
It's a launching pad.
Holy crap. Wind's blowing out there, and you got, 2 gas cans pitching.
Oh yeah. Because remember, Summerlin is, I think, 4,000 feet above sea level. I think that's right. So
somebody put it in the chat.
Did you know that the link is at sea level? I did not know that.
Here we go.
Did you know that?
I knew it was one of the lowest points.
It's the lowest part of the
water
city.
Always
the link is the lowest part of the city, and it's at sea level. Yes. I was like, wait, what? That's how steep it is to get up to Summerlin. Like, it's 4,000. It's a good climb fast.
You're just finding this out now. You drive to and from every day.
I know that. I know.
Up and down. Get home and you go down a hill to get there.
I know, but it's how many feet am I traveling? I don't realize it because I'm going downhill at 75 miles per hour. So I don't know how.
75.
At least 75, more like 90. But going downhill and then coming back up, I never really pay attention to it. Because there's a dramatic difference in playing baseball in Summerlin than playing baseball on the Strip. It's a big difference. And I don't think people know that. Major League Baseball may not know that. They may not realize that it's a very different ballpark.
Care.
Well, the totals are going to be like the A's totals on the Strip will be normal. the ace totals in Summerlin
They
will be
not
ridiculous.
normal. The ball flies here
Because the air, right? The air's thinner. Correct.
There's no question it flies differently.
But
yes,
air at altitude is even more ridiculous. That's
it's
super
the
thin.
wind. Pete.
Well, that's
the wind up where we live just feels like it never stops blowing because we're higher than so many places in town. It ain't this windy in Henderson. It's just not. What did I say?
You said the quiet part out loud. They don't like that name, by the way. They get very upset by that name, but
they do.
It's why I didn't live there. It's why I drove through it and went, "Oh yeah, this is Huntsville. I'm not living here. I'm not living anywhere here."
But it's
Eastern
nice.
Eastern is just no way. You want to know what it's like to live in Huntsville, Alabama?
Oh,
drive down Eastern. Eastern Ave is Huntsville.
What are you doing right now?
Just it is. It's what it is. You should call it Hentucky. Just telling you what it is.
It's a common thing. I'm gonna have to.
That's not a common thing. Outside of here, they don't know what it is. That's an insider.
They do. Just Google it. It's all
insult.
over.
That's an insider. So.
Is it? Well, that's why you got to listen to the show.
Yeah, there you go. It's an inside joke. Okay, this came out a couple days ago, but we were obviously there. Tulane's going to require coaches and staffs to sign an NDA as a precautionary move against sports gambling. What they're making their coaches do is to sign a contract that states they will not provide any insider information to sports gamblers. And violation of NDAs can be loss of employment or hefty fines.
Oh boy,
for violating the NDA.
Yeah,
good idea.
Everybody's CYAing right now.
100%.
Everybody's CYAing because, again, we had Chris Williams on Friday, and I point blank asked him, "What the hell's going on in Iowa? Why are they doing this so hard? Why are they making what seemed like making an example of these kids in this program and the procedures and all this other stuff?" And he explained it, I thought, very well. And now you put this on the rundown, and I looked at it and read it, and, it's a partnership with U.S. Integrity.
Mm-hmm.
And how do I know if someone's gambling if I talk to them? That's on me?
Yes. So essentially, you just don't tell anybody anything.
Ever.
Like you're just not talking about anything ever again.
Period.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of the idea. You don't know, so you don't tell anybody anything.
But you do know.
Of course you know, but you're not going to talk about it.
That anybody knows about.
Oh, sure. I mean,
this has been going on since the beginning of time.
Right, but there's been no repercussions for it.
Correct.
Now there's going to be repercussions
for the people that talk, not for the people who bet.
Yeah, but it's a CYA, like you mentioned. If there's if a scandal comes out, the school says we had him sign an NDA. He violated the NDA. Not our fault.
Did they go help the books get the money back for all the people that beat him?
No.
Do they go get the money back from the bettors that benefited or lost money from this supposed information?
No. It's not about that. It's not about the book or the bettor. It's about the integrity of the game.
Here we go with the integrity of the game again.
That's all it is. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's what this is for. This is so people can start to feel more comfortable, okay? Because the next story is the exact same situation. Because now the Big Ten has decided that, well, we're going to start to put out game day availability reports.
Oh, madam.
2 hours before the game will begin, the Big Ten is deciding to go ahead and put out a availability report. Who is kicking off, who is playing, and who is not.
Gotta put the big glasses on for this one.
How do you feel about an availability report? Big Ten is doing this on their own. No one's making them do this. They're choosing to do this. Who is in uniform, who is playing, and who is not.
What conference is Iowa in?
The Big Ten. Fair.
Right? Is the Big Ten going to be the first one to do this? I mean, it is. Is the Big Ten going to be the only one to do this?
Maybe this season. I think the SEC probably will watch and wait and see what happens.
You think the SEC is going to do this?
Yeah, they will eventually. I think everybody will.
You think so?
I think everybody will eventually. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think the NFL model will be copied.
The NFL model where they release the injury report on Friday
Mm-hmm.
and they say certain things, and then Sunday there's guys warming up that play and they
Don't play.
don't playing and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Do you find any value in this injury report, sir?
Not really.
2 hours prior to kickoff. What are we going to do with this?
It's just
2 hours
confirmation.
prior
It's
to
just confirmation. The same way you'd have confirmation waiting for a guy to warm up. There's no difference.
I can tell you this from the book standpoint. The book's not waiting for the report.
Right.
So,
Right.
Again, I look at everything through a different set of glasses. These glasses specifically right now for this, because I'm going, what in the hell are we doing? I'm going to rely on, it's the Big Ten coaches. So James Franklin's going to tell somebody, hey, make sure you send that report before we go out for warmups. Don't forget. What?
No,
Who's going to do the report?
The SID.
The SID.
Mhm.
Is that the same guy that does the voting for the pool?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
For the coaches poll. Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be a staff, like a staff intern can do that, but it can be others, but the SIDs do often vote in the coaches poll, but this will be done by the sports information director on campus. They will go to the coach and say, here's the list of the players we have. Anybody you want to add or subtract?
Yeah.
And
I'm good.
Right. Whatever it is, assistant coach, offensive coordinator, somebody will just sign off of it and then it'll go out to the media.
I just don't know what the value of this is.
Well, no, here's the problem.
Other than to the people.
I would agree. Here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. Guy is on the list, right? He's playing. He goes out there. He turns his ankle in the final warm-up. He's not playing.
Okay.
Everyone freaks out.
Is he on the list?
You liar. He was on the list to play, and then all of a sudden he gets hurt and he's off the list. He's not playing.
And then what happens?
People get mad. They think it was intentional. They think they always knew. Conspiracy theory this, conspiracy theory. That's just the problem with this is once you start opening. It's the same thing with Belichick and Brady and what they did with the arm injury to Brady. He had a probable shoulder every week for like 7 years straight.
Questionable or probable. Big difference in the way it's spelled, the way it sounds, but might as well have been the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if this. So is this, you said this is for the integrity of the game too, or that was for the first report thing?
Well, this is both. This is, you're right about Iowa being in the conference. So it's a response to the Iowa investigation. But I think coaches and players and staff members in college football, they're trying to find the answer to, well, what do you do with the information that only is available to a certain number of people who then can tell gamblers what's going on?
It still has to win. You could get this information and still lose. You know that, right?
100%. I know that, but they don't really take that into account because if it happens once, that's all that it matters. That's it.
I just can't understand.
Look, Shoeless Joe Jackson and the Black Sox fixed one World Series and 100 years of baseball changed. That was one event. They're trying to stop one event from happening.
So the injury reports are going to stop it?
They're just trying to find ways to answer the lawsuit question when somebody sues them.
This is for the lawyers. That's exactly who this is for. This is for the lawyers.
You said it. This is a CYA moment for everyone right now. What did you do? What did you do when you knew this was going on? What was your response? To throw your hands up, or did you do something?
Well, I mean, the Tulane thing is worded that if you don't sign it, you can't work here.
Correct. That's what an NDA is.
Right. If you don't do this,
right,
there's no place for you here.
Correct.
So now you're going to force people to be on guard talking to anybody about anything all the time.
Well,
now we're going to release injuries.
Well, it's more about you can't talk about significant
How was
things.
practice? I can't say.
Well, that's a little different because if you say it, what do you mean? I can't say it like on the phone, or I can't say it in a press
can't
conference?
say it to anybody because
can.
I don't know if the person I'm talking. If I'm going to the grocery store, and
Yeah,
I'm
right.
picking
That
up
you
food
can't say.
and the
Correct.
guy
That-
says
right,
to me,
right,
"How
right.
was practice?" I go,
Yes.
I've been talking to him for 10 years. Same
Good.
guy
Yeah, good. That's
in
it.
Ames.
Yep.
It was good.
That's it.
Oh,
That's all you can
good.
say.
Okay,
Yep, I
that's
agree.
it.
Uh-huh.
It was bad. It was whatever you say. But now that thought is in your head. And
Right.
now we're going to release injury reports 2 hours prior. Didn't the NBA try to do this past year? Wasn't they required to say an hour before
Who was
who's
playing and who was
who's
not?
all this
Yes,
other
right.
stuff?
Yeah.
How'd
right.
that work out?
Work in progress.
This is the beginning of a work in progress.
Fair. I will agree. Time for 32 teams and 31 shows. Our Circus Sports NFL team of the day is the Jacksonville Jaguars today.
Yes.
Win total for the Jags is 9.5. It's juiced over -150. Nice hat.
I wanted to get the logo on there.
Last season, 9-8. Reasons to be excited. Trevor Lawrence won his first playoff game in his career last season, winning a wild card game. The team is the most talented on paper in the division. How much does that matter? We will find out. Reasons to be concerned. Well, they have 2 games back-to-back in October in London. Then they come back, no bye week. They're going to spend 2 weeks plus overseas in a different time zone and then come back, and there's no bye week. They keep going.
Wait, they don't. They're the only team that does this, right?
Correct. August 1st and the 8th, back-to-back weeks in London.
Not August. You said August.
October 1st, October 8th.
I mean, just in case the calendar
Thank you.
keyboard warriors
Yes,
come
thank you.
at you in the
Spotlight.
chat, something later.
Spotlight will be very bright on this team. Everyone's saying it was a mirage, that what they did last year is not actually true. This team's going to take a big step backwards. They're going to go back to being the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here is the schedule. Now,
Yes, sir.
remind you, Atlanta and Buffalo, those 2 games are in London.
Atlanta and Buffalo. Star. That's what the star.
Star
Not
means.
like 1-star Goroff. Those
No.
are 1-star for neutral site game in London. Same place, or are they playing in 2 different stadiums?
Same place, I believe.
Okay.
Both in London. So if it's a different stadium, they're not changing cities.
So they're splitting those games. So we'll get to okay.
At
I think
Indy.
they split. At Indy. Man, this could be the survivor taking L for a lot of people. They're going to pick against the Colts. They got them before. The Colts got people last year.
In
Now,
week
the
1,
Colts
yep,
may
they did.
return the favor and beat
Yep.
Jacksonville. But
Right.
I'll say Jacksonville beats the Colts. That's 1.
They're going to lose to the Chiefs at home.
Agree.
Okay. They're going to beat Houston at home.
Agree. That's 2.
They're going to split the London games.
Correct. That's
Okay.
3.
Home for Indy. They're going to beat Indy at home.
We're on the same page right now,
Okay.
Perrault. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. 4.
At New Orleans, Thursday night, loss.
Thursday night. You're right. I think lose.
At Pittsburgh, Sunday.
Come on. They're not
You
winning
will-
that game.
Why not?
What are you talking about?
Why not? Sunday afternoon.
Halloween weekend in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, why not? It's not going to be that cold. Why not?
Steelers are winning that game. Do you see how good the Steelers look?
I know.
Jacksonville's coming in. The Jaguars are coming
I
into
bet
Pittsburgh
I
and
bet
winning.
over 8.5. I told you this. I already bet this. I'm on the Steelers over 8.5. I'm with you.
Well, you can count this as not one of the wins for Jacksonville. It's stuck on 4.
All right, 4-4 open. I'll give it to you. Bye week in week 9. Perfect bye week.
Good bye week.
San Francisco at home off the bye.
They'll win this game.
Nope, they'll lose the game. Beat Tennessee.
5.
You have them
Oh, they're
beat.
going to win both of these games off
Okay.
the bye. 6.
All right. I have 5. They beat Houston on the road. I have 6.
No, they lose this game.
Okay, they beat Houston.
Lose.
Home for the Bengals. Monday Night Football.
Stuck on 6.
I think they win
Okay.
because no, they'll lose that game. They'll beat Cleveland.
I was 7.
Home for Baltimore.
Oh,
No.
boy, they're going to catch the Ravens. That's a Sunday night game.
Uh-uh.
Oh, the jungle down there is going to be crazy. Them Jacksonville fans are going to be hyped up for this. They're going to win that game. That's 8.
I think they lose and they win out.
They win at Tampa 9.
They win out. Win those 3. They have
win
I have
the
10.
Carolina game 10 most likely at
10
home,
and 7.
and then lose to Tennessee on the road. 10.
I have 10.
10?
10 and 7. Yep.
Different paths, same number. What's the over-under?
9.5.
Good number. Boy, these season win totals, boys and girls, some of the hardest things to beat are the NFL season win totals. We're going to do that contest. We're going to announce that. You and I are going to discuss that later today, and then we'll announce that tomorrow, what we're going to do, because I thought we came up with a pretty good idea to involve the Brigade as well. It'll be our little treat to them. I think that's a good idea. Over minus 150.
Right?
Why?
Because I don't want to go to 10, clearly. And 10.5 is not the right number.
What's the ceiling for this team? 12?
11.
Agree. I don't think it's 12.
12 and 5 is.
You got to sweep the division to go 12 and 5, right? They got to win all 6.
Yeah.
In the division to go 12 and 5. So I think 11's the peak.
Mm-hmm.
How bad could things get in Jacksonville? What's the bottom?
7 and 10.
With the expectations in Jacksonville, if they go 7 and 10, they're going to be so bummed out.
They will be, but I mean, that still could come in second place in the division.
Second place in 7 and 10 in the AFC South is not going to get you to playoffs.
No, of course not.
Well, they got plans to go back to the playoffs.
Only one team is going to the playoffs out of the South. You win the division you're in. Otherwise, you're not going.
That would be one of the biggest upsets of the entire NFL season is if 2 teams
got there.
South gets into playoffs.
Yeah, it'd be nuts if that were to happen. But I don't think it's going
to happen. Big crowd coming in. Again, the noon thing, Pacific, is real. We get an influx of people from somewhere, wherever you come from. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. How many wins does the Jacksonville Jaguars get this season? I see Chef Benny said 7 more likely than 11. JC from KC said 9 and 8. Jordan One-Star Gorov has them 12 and 5. Boy, oh boy, how are the boys going to put together these picks every single week when they go to do it for the BVB Brigade entry in the contest?
By the way, the Cardinals have just cut Colt McCoy. So either Josh Dobbs or Clayton Tune, a rookie 5th-round pick, will be the starting quarterback for the Cardinals.
Say it again slow. Say it again slow so I remember the name.
In case you're curious about what the Cardinals are doing this season, that they are banking on Caleb Williams or Drake May, they have cut Colt McCoy, and they are either going to start Josh Dobbs, who the Cardinals acquired last week, by the way, or a rookie 5th-round pick named Clayton Tune to be the starting quarterback at Washington.
Tune's going to get tuned up.
Yep.
That, boy, oh boy, you want to feel like a piece of meat, like just sitting in front of the Lions. Hey, you're welcome to the league, kid. You're the starting quarterback. You can be running for your life every day, and we ain't really trying to protect you. God,
that is elite tanking.
Man, oh man.
That is blatant in your face. We're going to try to win one game. Here's the thing for Survivor contest people. Just pick the game that they're going to win. And then every other game, you can pick the Cardinals' opponent.
Oh, you can, but you can't pick it twice because they play the division game. So you can only pick Seattle against them once.
Right.
You know, the Rams against them once and the Niners against them once. Use those wisely. But my gosh, this thing is going to go to the end now. It just even more interesting. We got a 11-6 over from Zach the Hat. Chef Benny 8. CBW 9 and a tie. I love when they predict a tie. Good job. JC from KC 9. Bonvi 8. Jordan P 10 and 7. 10 or 11. 9, 10, 10, 9, 9. I don't know, man. It's a great number. It's a great number.
Hold on. Is this true?
What? I love when you get these things. What? What's true? Say it.
How did Mookie Betts? We were talking about this a month ago.
Yeah.
Ron
People been listening
Acuna.
to the show.
Ron Acuna.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts was 4-1
Yeah,
to win
was.
the MVP.
Yeah.
He's minus 145 this morning at FanDuel.
Did you see what he did over the weekend? Did you see what he's done the last couple of weeks? He's the
I
hottest
have.
hitter in baseball.
Okay, he is. Yes, I
Yeah.
love Mookie. But what are we? Wow.
Did you like his return on Friday?
You loved it.
That was
Awesome.
class. That
Unbelievable.
Was,
what should have happened? What should have? The fans did exactly what they should have done. Shower him with praise because it wasn't. It's not the fans' fault. It's not Mookie's fault. John Henry fired him into the sun.
Devers clapping.
He was laughing. He was laughing. He was having fun. He was laughing. It's his boy.
Cora up on the top step, clapping.
Yeah.
You know, give the guy the flowers, whatever that expression means. Kids, I can't stand that expression, but
agreed.
I listen to it. Go up to the podium, recognize, a guy who the fans loved. That was awesome. Well, the people love him.
Still.
Because they've made him the favorite now to win the National League MVP. And we did say it. Mr. C came in, told us he'd bet it. People watch the show, Perrault. They won't say they watch the show, but I know they're watching. I know they're listening.
I can't believe it. I'm stunned. I'm stunned that Acuna is plus money. He's plus money. He was minus 1,000 when we were talking about this. We said, is there any way the MVP in the National League could be in doubt? And we both said yes, but the books don't think so. We were like, how is this possible?
We were trying to get that Dodger money from either Mookie or Freddie Freeman, and Mookie has been
gone. He's taken off. Freddie Freeman, you're not going to vote. If you're voting for a Dodger, you're voting for Mookie. You're not voting for Freeman anymore. He's not in the conversation, not by any means. All right, Brigade Proxy Service, Pro Football Story of the Day. You guys are going to send us a text. This is very important. If you are coming to town, okay, 702-570-8255. Text us. We have appointments on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday already booked.
Yes.
We need to know when you're coming in.
Please.
We need to know which contest you're doing.
Yes.
And what time you're going to be at the book. Okay, we're going to be pretty much at Circa or the Westgate Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. I got to do Sports Grid on Friday night, but Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we will be down there signing you guys up. We'll be around. We'll be hanging out in the book.
But you're doing Sports Grid on Friday?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I probably won't. And then I'll do Sports Grid on Thursday.
I'm working Thursday too.
Oh, okay.
Thursday and Friday. But not working. I'm not working Saturday, Sunday, or Monday on Sports Grid. So I'm wide open. Just Thursday, Friday.
We got people in town. We got to entertain. I explained to the wife, like, listen, if you want to come out and hang out with Brigade people, please
come on
do.
In. Yeah.
But like it's gonna be grown up time.
It's going to be busy weekend. So 702-570-8255. Trey Lance was traded over the weekend. Number 3 pick in the draft. He becomes the fastest top 5 pick to be traded for the fewest games played for the team that drafted him in NFL history.
Huh.
The Niners gave up on Trey Lance faster than any other team has ever given up on a top 5 pick.
I give them both complete credit for this.
Lance or the Cowboys?
Both. The Cowboys found something that they maybe can use, maybe not, or know that it's a development thing, and said, we'll take them. And the Niners, realizing that it wasn't going to work, we made a mistake, and we're going to take whatever we can get. Good luck, Trey. They did him right. They put him in a place where, he might have a shot of playing something at some point. But
how pissed off is Dak Prescott? How pissed off is Dak Prescott?
Why?
Oh my gosh.
He ain't coming in to take his job.
Yes, he could be. They're in massive negotiations about an extension for Dak. This is massive leverage for the Cowboys. This is Dak. Either you take what we offer or here's a kid coming in.
Go ahead. Let him play.
Okay. Then Dak's off the Cowboys. He's playing somewhere else. Dak doesn't want to go play anywhere else. He wants to be a Cowboy.
It's insurance.
The most valuable franchise in sports. He's the quarterback for the most valuable franchise in sports. Dak gets so many endorsement deals, not because he's Dak Prescott, but because he's a quarterback of the Cowboys.
Dak is a free agent after 2024. Thank you,
Yes.
CBW.
Yes. This is a huge leverage play by the Cowboys.
It's insurance. You got to have somebody to do the job. I mean, who's the backup? Who's the backup right now?
Well, he's gone now. It's Cooper Rush. He's gone now.
Okay. I'm not worried about it if I'm Dak. I'm not upset about it if I'm Dak.
I am.
I'm the quarterback.
For now.
Well, that's all we can do is for now.
Aaron Rodgers lost his mind when they drafted Jordan Love. This is the same thing.
He's not.
They just got your backup. They just got your replacement.
Yep. Well, you think this motivates? The Juice just said this should motivate Dak to play better.
I would agree with that. Yes, it should. 100%.
Really?
Yes.
Because he's going to take his job?
Because he could. Absolutely. Yes. Dak's the press conference he had afterwards told you everything you got to know. Go watch it. Dak is very uncomfortable by it. He's not happy.
It's not an uncomfortable thing to talk about. I don't want to talk about the guy that's going to replace me on my job.
Right.
What am I going to say publicly? God, I wish him the best. I'm going to help him every way I can and train him to do the exact thing that I do.
Yeah, some people do. Brady said no. Rodgers said no. I'm not doing that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't blame him. I wouldn't groom my replacement
either.
Yeah.
If the kid wants to learn and wants to be here, I'm going to help him. I've trained people a million times. The thing is, he's not Dak. Not even close yet. He was not going to even be the starting quarterback over Brock Purdy.
Right. Well, third string. He wasn't even over Sam Darnold. He was third string.
Sam Darnold came in, just learned this offense, and all of a sudden he couldn't beat him out.
Yep.
So if I'm Dak, I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about anything. I can say to Jer, hey, Jer, that's your quarterback? Okay. But like, I'm playing right now for the money right now, for the team right now. I've been here. I've earned it. We're going to be fine. Don't start no shit. Like that's, I don't know.
They did. Jerry started a lot of.
You think so? I don't think
100%.
so. I think they had to get a guy that physically could perform the job.
Cooper Rush could physically.
Cooper
Rush knew the offense like the back of his hand. Cooper Rush could
play more than one game. He's a backup quarterback.
And what's Trey Lance if he can't beat Sam Darnold out?
He can physically do the job.
To what? Run the offense? We don't know that.
When a guy is injury. Not risk, but when he's prone to maybe having injuries, I need a guy that can physically play more than one game. The backup, like Cooper Rush, is for one game. I need a guy that may have to play 2 or 3.
Cooper Rush in his career, well, that was last year. Let's see. Cooper Rush in his career has played in 16 NFL games so far in his career. Completion percentage of 59%. Most of it in mop-up duty, although he did play 9 games in 2022 when Dak got hurt. I think he's still on the roster as of right now. They haven't officially cut him yet, but we'll see what happens with that.
I keep them both if I could.
I think you probably could, but the money on Trey is expensive. The Cowboys took all of it. They took the full contract.
What a deal. Yeah, CBW said Rush is still there, I think.
Yeah, they were stunned by getting a 4th-round pick. That was more than they thought they were going to get. That's Jerry Jones to a T.
Right? Always overpaying.
Always overpaying. That's Jerry Jones's calling card. No one else is offering more than a 6. Jerry's like, I'll give you a 4th. Like, oh, really?
Let's go.
Take it. How fast did the Niners say yes? Hey, guys, it's Jerry. I'll give you a 4th. Done.
Yep. Yep.
Yours.
Thanks. See you. Boom.
Hang up
quick before he thinks about it.
Do the paperwork now.
Quick.
To the league, quick. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a very interesting situation because Dallas loves drama, and now there's drama.
Oh, I hate drama.
There's all of it. So now you have the contract situation for Dak. Dak can't lead the league again in interceptions. He's got to cut way down on that. And you've got Mike McCarthy, who is somewhat on the hot seat. Now you have Trey Lance coming in, and everyone's favorite player is the backup quarterback. It's just crazy that they gave up on him because no one gives up on a top 5 pick this fast. Like nobody goes, we're out. That's it. Like just based upon saving face alone or draft capital alone in investment alone, you don't see this very often.
That's why I said I give him credit.
Right.
I do. Like, we saw a couple quarterbacks in the past 20 years where they stayed on too long. They didn't get rid of him. They kept trucking him out there. Jamarcus Russell.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? You just can't play. Got to go. Right? He was the number 1 pick in the draft.
Right. And guys don't want to admit
the whole draft.
It's true.
And the Raiders kept trying to sell it like he's going to be our quarterback. But what?
He can't play.
He can't play.
Yeah. Guys on Sports Grid, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. If you guys are live on YouTube and on Twitter, you guys are getting bonus time. Were you saying?
I said, hold your ears if you're watching on this. That was not nearly as loud as the Otani watch.
No, but this one.
Damn it.
That's the one that will get you every
Can't double them up like that. That one actually made me jump.
Yes. That one will scare you on purpose.
Hold on to the steering wheel if you're listening to the show driving.
Yes.
Next week, you'll be listening to the show on SiriusXM.
Yeah, on that. So we will get to our bonus time story time here in just 1 second with you guys asking. We do have a question from Chris Covey that we'll get to here in just 1 second. Excellent. But before we do that, better to book it. Red Sox team total over 4.5, -130 today against Christian Javier and the Astros.
Wow.
Chris Sale going today. Red Sox have scored 5 runs or more in every start since Sale has come back.
Oh. So funny because I look at the rundown, but I try not to look at better to book it so I get the instantaneous reaction.
Okay.
So I really am not seeing this now. I'm literally seeing this for the first time. You like Boston's team total over.
Mm-hmm. Game
is 10.
Oh, wow. Now it's 10. It was 9 last night.
Yeah. Well, those are fake numbers overnight. We've talked about this stuff. You can't always trust those overnights. There's some business being done. Some business, not big business, but other business being done with those overnights. -130?
Mm-hmm.
Man, oh man. I like the game over. What if we only get 4? 5-4.
Red Sox have to win this game. Lost 2 out of 3.
Have to win this game.
Dave, look at the standings. Seattle is in first place. We skipped over it because we didn't have time, but Seattle's in first place.
Boy, oh boy. They just keep winning.
There are 3 teams making it right now from the post to the playoffs. There are 3 West teams in.
AL West, best division in baseball.
AL East maybe 2, 3, and 1 is how baseball might go. Red Sox, if they want to be in the playoffs, they're not a playoff team. But if they want to be in the playoffs, they got to go. They're not a playoff team. Let's be honest.
Addison said the BPS stinger is the Widowmaker. Biggie J27 said, wow, that shit does bang in the car when you're in a long drive.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even play it because you guys are.
Damn the one. You got me. I wasn't ready. Where's Eric? When Eric didn't do this to us. Eric put up graphics, he put up the chat, all this other stuff, and you keep pushing these buttons and scare the shit out of me.
Fire. Better to book it.
Edit. This is going to be a high-scoring game. I like the game over.
Yes. SoCal DJ and staff for you guys. D-backs at the Dodgers. Zach Gallen against Bobby Miller. Gallen is against the Dodgers 10 times in his career. He's 5-0 straight up at home against the Dodgers, but 0-5 at Dodgers Stadium. Dodgers money line -141. They are hot, and they have Gallen's number.
Dodgers were where over the weekend?
Fenway Park.
First game back is tonight after that road trip.
Yep.
How in the hell are the Dodgers only -141?
They should be higher or lower.
The Dodgers, Gallen's numbers on the road, all this stuff. This should be -180, no?
That's why I like it.
That's why I don't.
Ooh, okay.
Book it. I think the books, this will be the biggest need almost on the board because of the time slot. This will be the biggest game. This will be one of those ones where I'll be sitting in that room. Everybody's keying, Texas today against the Mets and Toronto at home against Washington, and they're putting it with the Dodgers because the Dodgers are only -141. I got a funny feeling about this one, Perrault. Arizona's playing as good at baseball as they played all season.
Agreed.
And we're getting their best pitcher. in the playoffs right now. If the playoffs started, right, the Diamondbacks in.
Yep, in. Correct. In.
This is a playoff game. I like Arizona a little bit
Okay.
tonight.
UMass plus 38. South Point Caesars at Auburn.
What the hell's wrong with you? It's Monday.
I when I put them out, I just ask you when I bet them because numbers could change. So I can't wait till Friday because I wait till Friday and then I come out and say, okay, it's minus 34. It's a whole different bet. No, minus 34.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Go UMass. Go UMass.
Is that the cheer?
Yeah. Fuck them up. Fuck them up. Go UMass.
They actually say that?
Oh yeah, students do.
Really?
Like,
I can't believe this made the board on Monday, but you did the right thing, taking the right number. This actually makes sense to me. I'm glad you took it. It'll give us something to talk about all week.
it's gonna nosedive.
Is it though?
Yes, it's gonna nosedive, and I'm
You
gonna bet.
keep like hyping.
And I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna bet Auburn on the way back up.
I'm going to say this right now.
This number will be 34 at close.
If I go on any other shows today or anyone else reaches out to me to talk about the UMass Auburn game today, okay, I'm going to fucking blast you if you don't say that you heard me and you talking about it today. All right? I'm just telling you, whoever's watching, whoever's listening, please do me a fucking favor and say thank you. Okay? The number, you are correct, sir. It is now 36 or 36 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all that being said, this is what we do as the book. We have to find the peak for this team that is really shitty, despite the fact that they won, Perrault.
Yeah, no. I know that's true. I mean, I'm not going to agree with you wholeheartedly. We don't know what UMass is yet.
We don't?
No, we don't know yet. They have a Clemson quarterback. Kid went to Clemson. Okay, like this is not.
What kind of money did these guys at UMass pay out to these kids to get them all to come there?
Don Brown. It's all Don Brown. Don Brown's got the people. He was again. He was look at his resume. His resume. The guy can coach defense. The offense is the question. Can he coach in the offense? But my goodness, I'll learn how to say the kid's name. I promise next week I'll learn how to say the kid's name. But the kid he went to Clemson first, then he went somewhere else. Now he's at UMass. But he admitted he had, he wasn't mature, made a lot of mistakes, made a lot of dumb decisions. But the talent, he's 6'4", 240. I mean, he's legitimately is he legit
from Massachusetts?
No. None of these kids are. They're all from the West Coast.
So they got him to go to UMass.
This is literally the transformer. This is the transformer football team. This is just build them all together and you become one big. Oh, what was the guy's name? No, Opposite Prime was one guy. What was the guy?
Bumblebee?
Nope, Bumblebee's one guy. The guy for Transformers, when all the planes became one guy and he had a big gun.
Somebody put it in the chat. I guarantee somebody in the chat knows.
Put them all together and he became a big guy and he was the ultimate fighting weapon. He transformed into a gigantic gun. Not
plane. It became a gun.
Not the other guy, because the other guy turned into a gun was the bad guy, not him. That was the Decepticons lead guy, the lead lieutenant guy who turned also from a plane into a gun as well. But
all right, well,
I love
you did the right thing. You took the right number.
Okay,
Devastator.
Thank you.
Devastator.
There we go. That's awesome.
Vinny Konowinski and JPC the fourth just came in and said that. That was awesome.
So that's what UMass has turned into.
Total's 52.
Yeah,
I agree with the play. Take the points. Dog and under.
Finally, LSU win total over 9.5 minus 125.
Decided to do this today too.
Yep.
Can't believe you don't have a play on the Pirates and the Royals game. I cannot believe.
Oh, I cannot believe it.
I
cannot believe it.
A game, a play.
How could I not have a play on
Pirates
the
and the
Royals game?
Big game today.
Huge game. Yes, for 10 people.
Not going to be many people at that game.
No.
We can, we can maybe get a visual shot. Good seats still available in Kansas City tonight.
Good seats still available.
Pirates, big matchup. Zach Greinke against Oviedo.
So here's the bet. LSU can lose to Florida State and Alabama, and they can win the rest and still cash. Last 3 games of the year are at home. Their home schedule is very favorable. 10-2 is very possible.
Okay. That one was for you, JC from KC. I knew you're still here watching, so I know he's excited about the Royals game. All right, I'll buy into this nonsense.
Why is it nonsense?
This feels like 9.
Could, but who is the third loss?
This is going to end 9.
If they beat Florida State, this bet literally could be decided in week 1.
They're going to lose that game. We're going to watch that game Sunday night.
Watch that game. I have like 15 bets on that game. What are you talking about?
I understand, but are we going to watch that game with the people? There might be some people in town. There might be.
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course.
This with the public.
Yeah. That's fine. They play Florida State in Orlando.
Yes.
Grambling State at home.
Okay.
Mississippi State on the road.
Trip up? No.
Arkansas at home. Here's the
lose that game.
No.
Okay.
Here's the trouble spot is LSU at Ole Miss. There's the question. But if they beat Florida State, they can lose to Ole Miss.
Okay.
At Missouri, home for Auburn, home for Army, at Alabama, home for Florida, home for Georgia State, home for Texas A&M.
Can they lose the Texas A&M game? No.
Not at home.
No?
Last game of the year at home. No way. That game could be for the SEC West title.
For real?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they beat Alabama. Sure. Yep. Don't tell me LSU can't beat Alabama and Alabama. I've seen it. It can happen. It can absolutely happen.
After just going through that, I would say this feels like 9. Now I'm good with the books booking it.
Okay. It's fine.
9.
Bonus time, story time. So let's go ahead and pull this up so I can read it directly off of this as to what you're looking for. Okay. We're getting close to contest time, circa millions. Could you guys explain how the holidays, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and Christmas will work? For circa millions, it doesn't matter. Circa millions, they're all part of the same week.
Yeah, but there's more games on Thursday, so we've been telling people that sign up and recommend
use Thursday
on the show not to use Thursdays. You
might
want to use Thursdays
on Thanksgiving only, because Black Friday there's games. There's only
3
1
games
week
Thursday, 1 game Friday,
and that's first time ever. We've never had a Black Friday game for the NFL before. Amazon Prime, Amazon paid big money for it. For Survivor, Thanksgiving and Black Friday are the same week. Right. Just FYI. Okay. It's its own week. So those 4 games are 1 week. The Sunday games are a different week, but not for Million. Million, it's all 1 week.
Okay.
So just
you gotta pick in the millions. You have to pick one of those Thursday or the Friday games. You have to pick a winner.
Why?
In the Survivor.
Yeah, Survivor. Yeah, right. Exactly. Not Million.
And then you have to pick a Sunday game after that.
Correct. In Survivor.
So there will be, hopefully we'll have multiple people still alive in this that have been signed up by the Brigade Proxy Service. You will get a notice, warning, alert, something. Hey, I need a pick for Thursday, Friday. If that wins, what game are you picking Sunday? Now, you don't have to decide right then, but we're going to need a heads up and we're going to need to know. And you will need to know if you're in a Survivor contest at Circa the same way. For the millions, it's just another week.
Yep.
You
all
just
in 1
have to
week.
Decide whether you want to use the Thursday games or not, because that limits the number of games. There's only be 11 games on, maybe only 10 games on that Sunday.
Well, Friday.
So now you have to pick 5 of those 10 instead of 5 of 15.
No, there's a game on Friday too. So there's 4 games off the docket.
Right, and I think there's still a bye. So there's multiple teams. There's the inventory of games to pick on that Sunday.
Yeah,
is way down. So just be aware of that. But that's how that works. And again, thank you to everybody who has signed up with the Brigade Proxy Service.
Just so you guys know,
later you're going to get a test email this week. We're going to send out to everybody that's already signed up a welcome and then like how this is going to work.
Yeah, just excuse me, just so you know, Thursday is 3 games, Friday is 1,
Yes.
Sunday has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and Monday has 1.
Okay.
So if you don't use, everyone's playing, no buys.
Oh, good. Okay. All right.
Everyone's playing, so we're good on that. So just
All right.
FYI on that. So hopefully that's favorite thing about today is what?
Well, we're on Sirius Radio starting next week. Like, that's a pretty fun announcement to make. You're going back to school today. I get to call you Professor Perrault. That's exciting.
Good day for your daughter too.
I found out she only has morning classes. She's figured out her schedule is she's off. She'll be off campus by 11 o'clock in the morning every day.
Every day. Wow.
Every day she's done.
So job in the afternoon? Is that in the cards?
Perrault, you've been around these kids long enough. They don't tell me shit. I
Okay.
don't know yet anything. I'm still
That's
waiting
perfect,
to
though.
see whether the big one's going to just hit me with. By the way, I leave for New Jersey on Friday.
Oh wow.
That door opened back up because they named a coach at that place.
Oh.
And we had a big family meeting over the weekend about possibilities and all this other stuff. So I'm learning to just be a dad.
Right.
In an ocean of estrogen. I'm told what I need to be told, and that's it. And I was told this morning to take Kendall to school today and wait at the bus stop. My favorite thing, I told you this last week when I did it, when I walked her to kindergarten every day. So far, my favorite thing about today is taking her to the bus stop because I forced her to take a picture, and she said, she gave me the the whole thing. I tweeted it. It's priceless. Spend time with your kids. Spend time with people that are important in your life every single day because it is priceless.
Like you mentioned, today is day 1 of semester school. You always get the little butterflies. You always get the little
Do you get them?
Yes, of course. It's more of an excitement butterfly than a nervous butterfly. It's more of like I'm psyched to get to know these kids and what they're going to do. But there's always that little tinge of like, okay, what's this going to be like? Are these kids going to be receptive? Do they want to work hard? Do they not want to work hard? I mean, I don't do well with unmotivated people. So it's probably one of the more what's the word? It's not challenging, but it's a learning. The thing I've had to learn the most about being a college professor is that there are some kids who do go to college, who pay to go to college and still don't care. And so how do I make that kid care? My job is to try to find a way to make the kid care in some form or fashion. And if they don't, that's fine. I can't put a gun to their head, but I have to try to reach them. I got to try to connect with them in some form or fashion. So that's my job to try. If I tried and I still can't reach them, fine. But I want to reach out to anyone who's going to take the course because I want them to, it could open up something that they never thought was there.
True.
And open up a career that I never thought was possible, even behind the scenes, not even on mic, behind the camera. There's all these different things you could do. And if you're someone who is a little bit lost and you don't really know what to do, I can maybe hopefully kind of show you something you might like. But some kids are unreachable. And that's, I had to learn that last semester that there are some kids that just do not care. And no matter how much I try, it doesn't matter. I'm still learning. This will be my 4th year of teaching this class. And I even though I have the class down really well now as to how I want it to go, there's always curveballs and different situations that I'm not aware of. So
watch your UCL if you're throwing
correct.
curveballs.
Yeah. Snap that elbow. So, but it's always fun to walk in and see their faces for the first day. First day class is always really fast. So it's always just like a 30-minute, like high and by. So it's nothing too.
Crazy. You set that tone today. I'm here for business and we have no business today. So I'm out.
Yeah. I don't drag it out. Like they're going to have a homework assignment due on Wednesday. I tell them who I am. I tell them what I've done. I tell them what the class is going to be. I run through the syllabus and then I ask for questions. And if nobody asks questions, we're out. Kids ask a bunch of questions. I'll ask them a bunch of questions. I'll answer however questions you need. The same questions happen every single year. Do I have to buy the book? Yes, you have to buy the book. Do I have to, what happens if I'm going to be late? Here's the protocol for being late. What happens if I miss a class? Here's the protocol of missing class. How do I submit my work? Here's how I submit the work. Like, they're all very typical questions.
This is what you do when you're a professional. I mean, I used to answer the same question every single day when I worked in a book. Every single
What does minus 110 mean? Right.
Every day. Yes.
So, yeah, so I'm psyched to get started, and I'm sure I'll have stories to tell you guys tomorrow and the rest of the time. So if you guys are on YouTube and Twitter, you're on bonus time. Please like and subscribe where you find this podcast. If you're listening back on audio, please also leave us a review on Apple or click the 5-star on Spotify.
Yes.
Tuesday, September the 5th, we will start our XM replay coming up for BVB. He's Dave. I'm Matt. Let's go. Football week back for a Tuesday tomorrow here for BVB.